The chapter came out very early. There's a chance that you haven't read it. I'm gonna have it in the pinned comment of this video and in the description, so read it, and after you finish reading, come back to this review. Obviously, without further ado, let's get into the video. My Boruto chapter 20 review, I basically said how, in my opinion, that chapter was a transition chapter, and I basically said that we might get another transition chapter, which was exactly the case. It was another chapter of pure fighting. I will say this. There are many great things about this chapter, but a couple of bad things, and I want to point out the bad things first because there's not much to talk about, and then I'm going to move on to the good stuff. But before all that, I want to say thank you to Eric. He's the guy who made this amazing thumbnail for me in this video. I made an agreement with him, and basically he did it for me. And since he's Mexican, I want to say something in Spanish. Gracias, mi amigo. Anyway, so let's start reviewing this chapter. Obviously, the bad things. Pacing. Pacing is horrible. And no, I'm not referring to the fact that the manga is monthly. What I'm trying to say is that they literally wasted, I don't want to say wasted, but you get the point. They wasted 40 pages on a fight that wasn't too complex. And if you think about it, in anime, in terms of anime, it would last only for a couple of minutes. You know, you have Konohamaru, Mitsuki, Sarada attacking for a bit, then Boruto attacking with the Shadow Clone and all that. I mean, I'm not gonna, tell you what happened. You saw it. So 40 pages and so little information. I mean, it's just not acceptable. You gotta take into consideration that the last chapter was also focused on fighting, and you would expect that at least this chapter would provide us with some information. But no, obviously we do know that even Mitsuki has the purple lightning. At first it was only Kakashi, then we saw that Boruto has it, and now we already have 3 characters using this jutsu. That's basically, that's information, right? But nothing too major plot related. And again, this has nothing to do with the fact that the manga is monthly. If I was taking that into consideration, this would obviously be a rant video. But no, all I'm saying is that it could have been done in less pages, not in 40 pages. Not to mention that at the start of the chapter, there was a lot of dialogue. And I was like, damn, we're gonna get a lot of information in this chapter because of the amount of dialogue. But no, it was pure action. So in conclusion, the pacing is, in my opinion, disturbingly bad. The last 2 chapters could be animated in 1 fucking episode. That's how slow it is, really. And let's get into the good stuff, because there are many good things to discuss about. Obviously, first of all, there was this one mystery set in this episode, and that is whether Ao has his Byakugan still or not. At one point, Konohamaru was like, maybe he lost his Byakugan during the war. I personally don't think so. I think we're gonna see Ao's Byakugan in the next chapter. I mean, the way the pacing is at the moment, we might not even see it. But hopefully it's gonna get fixed. It can't be this bad. Like, if next chapter provides us with only another round of fighting without any info, I'm seriously gonna rant. But that's a mystery. Second mystery, obviously, Kashin Koji. I mean, do I even have to comment? Kashin Koji is there watching everything, and it looks to me that if he wanted, he could pretty much kill everybody. But he wants to do what he wants to see what Ao will do. He pointed out in this chapter that emotions potentially, made Ao not kill them. But then Ao quickly replied saying how, he's just a mere tool who's trying to achieve, Kara's goals. And he basically has no emotions, just like a scientific ninja tool. And this is very interesting. Because clearly something happened to Ao. I mean, we all thought that he died in the 4th Great Ninja War. He survived. I reckon that the Kara saved him, probably something like that. Was he brainwashed or something like that? Did they tell him something? I don't know, but clearly something happened because he threw all of his emotions. Now, I do think that some of his emotions are going to come back in this arc eventually because this arc focuses on him, right? I don't think he's going to be like completely emotionless. But I really wonder like what the fuck happened with him. And what's up with Kashin Koji? These little things, they just enhance the atmosphere because you're like wondering all the time. Now, obviously, a big disadvantage is that we got no info in this chapter about anything pretty much. But I'm not going to talk about that because I already said it. Anyway, I thought that Sarah and Mitsuki were going to go to the Hidden Leaf Village, to deliver the vessel thing, whatever. But no, they actually stayed to fight. After the little talk at the start of the chapter, we haven't seen Katasuki. Obviously, at the start, he explained, how the scientific arm functions. He explained the disadvantages of the lightsaber, but after that he disappeared. Now I wonder if he started going to the Hidden Leaf Village to deliver like that scroll, whatever. That USB thing or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe he's just somewhere in shadows waiting to strike back. I really don't know. But yeah, the fact that we haven't seen him for the majority of this chapter, it's really interesting. Imagine if Kashin Koji already did something to him behind the shadows. Just imagine the hype. Anyway, the fight. So obviously everyone attacks Ao. They have this plan which is very predictable that Boruto was gonna appear at the end, which Ao predicted from the start. Sarada used the fireball technique again in this chapter. I think she used it for the first time in chapter 19, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really sure. That was like the first time we saw her using it. I really hope the anime shows how she managed to master it. For example, a scene between her and Sasuke. Obviously, the Chunin exam arc is confirmed for spring, most likely April of 2018. I mean, not most likely, it is going to be April. So we could see that scene potentially, because it bugs me. Boruto, we never saw him training, his shadow clone technique. We never saw him training the gentle fist. All of a sudden, he got this thing called Boruto Stream in the anime. We never saw him training with it. He has purple lightning and water style in the manga, and we never saw it in the anime. During the Hidden Mist arc, my prediction was that he was going to learn a water style then, because, in the Hidden Mist village, everybody, knows water style. That didn't happen. During the getting graduation exam, because Kakashi was interacting a lot with Boruto, I thought how Kakashi was gonna teach him that, and he probably did, but we never saw it. So I really, really hope that we could at least see one training scene. I'm missing those fucking things, man. Anyway, Mitsuki obviously has the purple lightning technique, which is a very overpowered technique. Developed by Kakashi Hatake, the 6th Hokage, and I mean Mitsuki is a beast. Who knows how many jutsus he has under his belt? We're yet to see. Obviously, he has the Sage Mode. I don't think he can enter it on purpose. And I'm pretty sure, actually, that he can't still. Maybe if he was in some death, like if he had some near-death experience or something like that, maybe Sage Mode would activate or something like that. But because if he was able to activate the Sage Mode, he would just use it and he would literally destroy Ao in 2 seconds. Because you saw his speed. I think it was episode 39 of the anime when the Mitsuki one-shot was animated. Either episode 38, 9, or 40. But okay, that was strange. That's a fail. Please ignore that. Wait. Again, this is very awkward. Shit, I'm gonna have to cut this part, or maybe not. It's probably gonna be hilarious. Anyway, we'll see what Mitsuki is capable of in the future of the series. Now, I wanna mention this for a second. Ao knew that, Boruto was gonna show up. And obviously it was a shadow clone. And alright, fuck off. Obviously, it was a shadow clone, right? Now, I really like the idea for, Ao to take that sword, so, that sword could drain out a lot of chakra from him. But the fact that he was so surprised when he realized that it was a shadow clone kind of doesn't make sense. He's a really old dude. He fought a lot in the past. And, he knows that Naruto uses, that jutsu all the time, and logically his son would also know it. So I don't really understand like this the surprise factor, but I guess he was surprised because of the fact that he lost so much chakra because of that ninja tech, and I really like that. That was some smart writing from Kodachi. He's the writer of Boruto. Ikimura he's the one who's drawing, and Kishimoto supervises everything. Anyway, later on, and this is the best part. Obviously, like it's even smarter when Boruto basically does the Rasengan and he like starts attacking Ao, and then he's like, even though I'm weak or whatever, I'm just gonna absorb your jutsu. It's useless. And then just Boruto switches to the scientific arm, which also absorbs jutsu. He knew about the a delay that is supposed to happen when you use it. It was explained by Katasuki at the start of the chapter, and he pretty much fucked up Ao and destroyed that arm with the Rasengan. And at the end of the chapter, when he said, I'm not gonna quote the exact words, but he was like, it depends on how you use them, because Ao a couple of chapters ago told him that the scientific ninja weaponry isn't evil, it's not bad, it just depends on how you use it. You can use it for good purposes, for example, like Katasuki when he helped that dog that belongs to that girl from the Inuzuka clan, I forgot her name, and he helped all these people. Or you can use it, you can be a dick and pretty much try and kill people with the tools. And Boruto saying that line that he pretty much learned from Ao a couple of chapters ago, that was fucking badass, and that's a big cliffhanger. I want to point out one more thing. This was the second round of the fight. You know how they say all tragedies come in 3 parts. I'm just saying that in their final clash, something bad might happen. Potentially Konohamaru's death, Katasuki's death, or something like that. Something bad. This is just a prediction because all tragedies come in 3 parts. And if you haven't heard it, you heard it now. All tragedies come in 3 parts. And that's one of the main reasons why I think Tokyo Ghoul will get a part 3. But I'm not going to talk about Tokyo Ghoul right now. That's my second favorite series after Naruto, Tokyo Ghoul. Like number 1 Naruto Boruto, number 2 Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re. That's just a prediction I'm having. Don't forget that after Boruto beat Momoshiki, Momoshiki appeared in this soul type of form. And he was like, those blue eyes of yours will one day take away everything from you. So we could expect that some people close to Boruto are gonna die in the future. For the longest time ever, the Boruto manga chapters always clickbaited us with Konohamaru fighting at the end. And it really looked like he was gonna die. Many people were predicting it. I was one of those people. And in the end, he was just fighting some lame-ass puppets or whatever. And obviously, a lot of people were disappointed. I'm not saying that he should have died, but the way it was presented, it should have been something more epic. But maybe that's a trick. Maybe he's gonna die suddenly in the next 2 or 3 chapters, depending on how long the Ao arc is going to last for. Anyway, this is just pure predictions. My rating for this chapter would be 7, which is not bad. Pretty much pacing is the thing that fucks it up, and the lack of information, the lack of enough plot progression. Everything else was great. The fight was great. It had some smart things in it. Obviously, Ikemoto's art style is improving every fucking chapter, and it's gorgeous. Right now, it's beautiful. It's easy to read. You understand the fighting, panels or whatnot. And, shout out to Ikemoto, because if you compare the art to chapter 1, it improved a lot. It's definitely improved a lot. So yeah, guys, that's basically my rating. As I said, it's 7. It's not that bad. It's not great. But if you look at it, 7, it's a fine mark. I can't wait for the next chapter. I'm very excited. If you're new to this channel and if you're into Boruto, consider subscribing with post notifications on. Twitter and Discord links are in the description below. Let me know what you think about this chapter. I really like discussing it with you. Don't forget to smash that like button. That was your boy Hokage, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.